discussing. She says that she doesn't think there's a line item 409. So something happened and something got on that line item from your records that basically said, here's $30,000 that we didn't budget. We spent the money. And that's the big one. If you look, $2,000, $3,000 elsewhere. You know, from a materiality standpoint, we're not talking about big dollars. But basically, you bought something for $30-some thousand or a group of things and you just didn't have the budget. What should have happened is you should have went, reviewed the budget and said, we need to move money from one area to another. Personally, on the $2,000 and $3,000 stuff, I would say that's a common mistake. Someone should be looking at the budget. Someone should be moving around money, and I think maybe with the extra help you now have in the bookkeeping office, I have a sneaky suspicion things will get better on this. But this wasn't my biggest concern. The audit findings I did, this was not my biggest concern.
What was your biggest concern?
Okay. I'm sorry, what?
What was your biggest concern?
Well, let me see here. As long as everyone's done with the adjustments, I'm happy. You know, we'll. Okay. Supply management adjustments needed for approval. Okay. Did I print that out? Okay. Segregation of duty is the one we always have. I'll just go through the finding. Okay. And that basically says your offices don't have enough people to adequately separate what happens. Some of the counties, I think, like the assessor's office, has actually worked on that, and because they have more people, they're able to separate those duties. But you still have the circuit clerk, for example. I think the county clerk is with Pauletta, and the bookkeeping is helping too. But you're still going to have some offices that the office is too small to segregate the duties. One person is going to have to do too much. Expenditures. Let me look at that. We made payments with. We sampled 40 checks, and out of those 40, we found 3 expenditures that did not have itemized supporting documentation. Now, one of the reasons why I felt this was important is because of the political environment with the ambulance authority, for one thing, and the newness of the agency. I looked at the ambulance authority, and I think there were 4 invoices, and they were all credit cards. There were either 2 or 4. I think there were 4. But the method of payment for the ambulance authority was the use of the credit card. And what was happening was the old director was going and buying something, threw the receipt down in the box, okay? And then you guys paid the credit card, okay? And you know, whatever. When Beth tried to make those payments, she had to go through that, if you will, the shoebox, and match up charges with the receipts in the box. In some cases, the vendors refused to, and they were minor cases. Beth worked very hard to find everything, but there were 1 or 2 companies that just said, we're not going to send you invoices. We've already sent you a bill, okay? And so there was not itemized statement. So my thing there is that if you have people, an agency that you supervise, if you will, going and using the credit card and just throwing the receipts in the box and then not worrying about it, that's a serious issue.
Yeah.
And I find that to be far more serious than whatever. Now, I don't know how that has changed. My understanding is you have gotten a bookkeeper. You now have help for the director. At the time, you had one director who was bookkeeper and everything else. Is that a true statement?
We don't have the same director we did at the beginning.
Well, but